Hello everyone and welcome back to Piano Secrets. Today we'll be discussing piano scales on the piano, and some students ask me, they always ask me if there is a piano secret to scales. And there is a piano secret which is knowing how to move. Instead of practicing many hours the scales, we just need to learn how the hand works on the piano, and that's all we have to do. I could say that I never practiced scales and I hated to practice them, but with them I learned how to move on the instrument. So that's why I will teach scales sometimes, but not to practice them as much, but only understand them and learning how to move on them. So we need to start by, the piano is a machine, and we need to start by thinking that because it's a machine we need to learn how to use it. And the best way is first to look at the hand and understanding that these three fingers are longer than those two fingers. So that means if you don't move differently with these two fingers, then even if you practice 10 hours you will not be able to play the scales because you are not considering the hand. So keeping that in mind, that these three fingers are longer, and as a matter of fact the middle finger is longer, those are almost the same size, the pinky is shorter, and the first finger is not only shorter but also it moves in a different way. Okay, so let's start with the C major scale. I hope everybody knows it. Maybe I play it with one finger and then we go over how to play it with the right fingers and how to get the speed. So let's say we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. When we have the scale, we usually play, when we play slow, we have this. That means we play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now what I will work first is on this area of the scale and leave these two notes out, the C, D, and E for now. Why? Because we have to understand how to move in here. There are two kind of movements. There are one that's in, you go inside a little bit and you go outside, and there's another movement, and that means we have to rotate toward the fingers that we're going to play. If any of those two movements are missing, we can't play right, or it sounds uneven. And I'm going to prove it to you by starting like this. The first finger, let's say on F, when we have 5 fingers, which is the second area of the C major scale, has to play inside. Always the first fingers have to play inside. And the reason is because it's shorter, it's smaller finger. So if you stay outside, you'll be too far out when you try to play the key that's coming. So you have to play inside movement in this one. Now the three fingers, these two fingers, this one's longer and that one's also longer. So those two fingers have to play out. And because this one's already getting a little bit smaller, you have to play in. So the pinky is the one that goes in. So this one, it could be on the same, out, out, in. So if we do it again, say it's in, out, out, in. And then backwards will be in, out, in. Now we need to add also a rotation. If you keep the fingers on with the same length, you could just move like this, rotate, and all the notes will come up evenly and effortlessly. I did not practice any exercises I think for 2 months now, so if this wasn't true I should not be able to play them, because I haven't practiced scales for a long time. Basically I think it's been like 2 years the last time I practiced scales, but the knowledge, if you have the knowledge, it stays there. So that means knowing the hand and the movements that you have to do to get over with them cuts the time, so you don't have to spend many hours. So I will work only on the movement. So when we move the thumb, we rotate toward this finger, rotate toward the next one, rotate, and then we have the C. And when we go backwards, we rotate the same way, rotate, and rotate again. So the rotation, what it does, it allows you to play very quickly, just like when you play trills. You could play as fast as that because just rotating from one key to another. So what it's doing is this. You could play very quick and there's no effort on it. And that's one section of the scale. Remember that also we have C, D, and E, which involve the passing over the rotation on the passing from E to F. Now if I do it again, it's true that I do that. I rotate over the fingers. It's almost like if you play F and go to C, you will rotate this way, right? So let's keep that in mind and add a G. So you still rotate towards the, and an A, and then add the B. You go towards it. I think the most problems people have is because they do not rotate and just hammer their finger from here, and that requires a lot of energy, and you will not be able to play the difficult pieces that we have sometimes because you're wasting energy on the air. You're just too high up, no rotation, you're not using the body right. So I hope this is clear to you. If not, leave a comment and maybe we'll go over it again or something, or I will tell you more pointers. But basically it's in, out, out, in. That's ascending and involves the rotation on it. And also descending will be in, out, out, in. So basically when you're getting towards the smaller finger, you have to go in, and out when you have the longer fingers. Unless you have, I think Rubinstein had all the fingers the same length, that would be different then. But most people have the hand maybe like me, I'm assuming, and that's all you have to do. So it's even, and it comes without any effort. You just rotate. When you go back and forth, sometimes it's true that it gets uneven. You have to go in and out, and you will see like a curve. You will see a curve like this, go kind of in and out, and also rotating at the same time. And that's all there is. So that's one of the tricks. So watch your fingers, be aware of the length of them, and know that the longer fingers go outside and the smaller finger goes in, and also that there is a rotation involved. That way you have to get away from this kind of practice. Okay, now you might be asking, well, how do we play the other three notes? Well, it's almost the same, because I said the thumb plays in, will play in, then out, out. But once you get to the, you want to get to the F. Let's say if we play this C, from C to E, we could play very quickly. Okay, so basically, if you could play this quickly, and that quickly, that means the problem now is just to solving how to put the thumb on the F. Now, we could do the same movement, so in, out, out, and then it will be in this one. And also rotate. So what we do is use the rotation on the E. We do not put it under, because if I'm like this, that will create tension on the hand by you flexing here. So I don't recommend putting under, even though some people teach this way. I think that's wrong. And what I do recommend is when you get to the E, you keep it relaxed, because we're going to be relaxed at all time. Anytime you tense the hand in any way, either this or this or this, then the current flow of energy is interrupted, so we don't want that. So what we want is rotate towards E, and then F, we have a rotation this way, and this rotation back brings you here and allows you to do that. So I'll show it again. So we have rotate towards it and then back. So when you play it, they all come evenly and quickly without practicing, and it's almost extreme speed. So know the rotations. Let's rotate back and then inside and rotate towards the middle, the pinky, and back again. Now if you want to do it descending, it's the same principle. From C to F you will have to rotate towards F and also go in. You could start this finger a little low depending on how long is your finger. Okay, that would be for the C major scale. And then if you want to stand this, know that all we have here is the fourth finger. But for any switch, we want to rotate and go towards this one. And then we stand it there. So let's say we have same thing. If you descending, and I think most of the time what works for me works for the student. And the other important things to keep the fingers I don't play relaxed. So that means if you play G, you will not tense up these two fingers. Or if you play here, you will not tense up this. Or any tension, I do not recommend. Even though I've seen many pianists play and have tension in their hand. When I do this, you don't see this finger doing this kind of thing. That means there's some tension somewhere, and what you need to keep the hand is all the fingers relaxed. Put it on the, because we don't walk like this. When we walk, that's not a posture. If we are relaxing, if we are sleeping, we will not do this with the hand. So that means it should be, ideally it should be like this. Okay, so that's the C major scale. From there you could do all the major scales and it will be the same. Let's say if you want to do the next key that is and difficulty will be maybe G, which has only one sharp, and we have the same movements. That will be G. If you want to do D, which has two black keys now, D major will be, G will be like this. Right? The one important thing is if I go too fast for you, there are 12 scales. I'm going to try to go through them and I'm going to show you the movements, but I will play them quickly. So if it goes too fast for you, rewind. But know that all the movements are the same. So here we have 3, rotate, and then you have the same position as when we did here. Okay? That would be G. Now D, we have 2 sharps. If you don't even know the scale, then I recommend first learning the notes on the scale and then trying to look for the movements, because you don't know the notes anyway, it's impossible. So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And then what we do when we have, actually the black keys sometimes help us play because they're already higher and allows us to pass or rotate easily throughout. So if we have this same movement towards F sharp, if you divide these 2 intervals, you will rotate, right? So, and then you have this one. So it's the same. You go higher, you rotate towards it, plus you go in. Okay, the very next key would be A, if we do it in order, A major, and we could start it right here, and it has 3 sharps, so A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, and same thing as the D, we rotate towards it, and then we rotate towards the 5th finger, descending. Same thing. Now we'll do from A, we could do the circle 5th, we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go to E major. Now we have these 2 black keys and F sharp and G sharp. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and E. And we have 3 notes. We could do the same. And then from A to the next one, same thing. So we rotate and also we go in if the finger is too small. If I don't want to play here, but I have two black keys, so I have to go inside. Descending. Now when I could go from here 5 notes higher and do the B with all those black keys. B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, B sharp, A sharp, I'm sorry, and B. So we could play from here. Same rotation towards the D sharp, and we put the C sharp in the middle. And then we go from E all the way up to B. Rotation towards the E. And I show you that it works for each key, but it's not true that I practiced them. So let's go from B, G sharp, we could call it F sharp or G flat, and I'll show you here. Now the only difference on the black key areas is you have second finger now to play with. So we have this note. We do the same thing. Now the rotation goes all the way to the fourth finger. We go in because it's a little shorter than the middle finger. And then in this rotation we put the thumb. And then we do the same again. So, also you could think in 3 slices. So that means you rotate. You rotate here. And then you rotate here. So. That's all that's everything for G flat. Now let's go to D flat. I will have this. Same thing, we rotate the first 2 fingers, then we have this, and that's it. So you have 3 rotations now instead of 1 at the beginning. That's 1, another. Then all we do is do a continuous flow of energy. Same principles apply. Okay, let's go to D flat, A flat now. A flat, we have this. And you could do it the same way. So. Works, right? And then let's go to E flat. Now this time maybe I played it only, it's just a matter of time. I'm just trying to keep the videos shorter, 20 minutes max. So E flat will be, so you can play it. Notes, E flat. We're going to B flat now. The way we play is the same. Rotation here and rotation here when you switch. And after B flat, we'll go to F major. And then we're back to C. F major is the same. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, C, D, E, F. Okay, rotate. 2 sections. And then we're back to C. Okay, so this was all the piano scales and the secret movements to do them right. Remember that it's not about practicing, it's just about knowing how to move. I hope this video was helpful, and if you enjoyed the video, like it and subscribe. Thank you very much.